How will AI affect our society? What impacts will it have on jobs? And what new ethical challenges will it create? To answer these questions, we need to learn about the future of artificial intelligence. As an overview of this module, first, we'll learn about the potential impact of artificial intelligence on our society. Next, we'll learn how AI will affect jobs and our labor economy. Finally, we'll learn about the ethics of AI and how it will likely impact humanity as a whole. How will AI affect our society and the world we live in? Our entire society, the world as we know it, is preparing to enter a new industrial revolution, an AI revolution. This revolution will likely be as profound as the agricultural, the industrial, and the information revolutions before it. For example, in the near future, we'll have self-driving vehicles that will eventually replace all human drivers in automobiles, semis, boats, and airplanes. We'll have collaborative robots to help us perform manual labor. They'll be taught to perform tasks by demonstration rather than explicit programming. We'll have virtual assistants to answer questions and perform digital tasks. They will learn your behaviors and your preferences to anticipate how best to assist you. We'll have smart buildings that will optimize their own energy efficiency and anticipate the needs of their occupants. We'll have advanced human-computer interfaces based on voice recognition, pose estimation, eye tracking, and eventually brain-computer interfaces. AI will recognize complex patterns in sensor data that correspond to words, gestures, emotions, and intentions. And we'll eventually have smart cities that will optimize municipal resources like electricity, water, waste, and traffic without any human intervention. We'll embed artificial intelligence in almost every aspect of our environment. AI will likely become as common and pervasive in the infrastructure of our society as electricity is today. Essentially, artificial intelligence will just be woven into the fabric of our society. This is going to have a significant impact on our day-to-day lives. AI will likely bring about massive social, political, economic, legal, and ethical changes. Many of these changes will likely happen within our lifetimes. First, AI will likely lead to a much more nonlinear economy and power structures within our society. Those with smart machines are going to have even more power, and those without smart machines are going to have even less power. This will likely create much greater inequality in our society unless we implement policies to prevent this kind of nonlinear growth. In addition, data will likely become one of the most valuable resources in our information economy. Every sensor observation, business transaction, computer interaction, and social media post will all be used to train AI models. So, those with the most data will wield tremendous power in our information economy. In fact, there exist today data sets within private for-profit companies that are currently valued at over $1 billion. And these examples are just the beginning. Artificial intelligence will inevitably create fundamental transformations in our society in ways we can't even predict. During the previous technological revolution, the information revolution, we've seen personal computers, which led to the rise of the internet, which gave birth to social media, which led to the rapid adoption of smartphones. Just think how different our world is now than it was just a few decades ago before the internet. In fact, as of 2019, people in the United States now spend more time on the internet than they do watching television. At the beginning of the information revolution, it's unlikely that anyone could have predicted this fundamental change in our lives. It just wasn't even on anyone's radar at the time. In the same way, within our lifetimes, there will likely be significant social, political, economic, legal, and ethical transformations caused by the AI revolution. Many of these changes we can't even see coming. How will AI impact our labor economy? What jobs are at risk of automation and what jobs are safe? The emergence of modern AI is beginning to have a strong impact on our labor economy. In the near future, this impact on labor will likely be tremendous. AI will replace a significant number of jobs in the next few decades. Given the economics driving this trend, it's less a matter of if a given job will be replaced and more a matter of when. In fact, some experts are currently attempting to predict which jobs are most likely to be automated by AI. They do this by analyzing aspects of each job like their repetitiveness and complexity. In fact, we can even predict what type of AI technology will be necessary to automate a variety of occupational tasks. For example, we can see which retail jobs are likely to be automated in the coming years as AI continues to be applied to retail sales. Even the medical industry isn't immune to the coming wave of automation. While these medical tasks are generally more complex and less repetitive than most jobs, they are rapidly becoming within the reach of modern AI. We can then extrapolate this information to determine which sectors of our economy will be hit the hardest by AI automation. The length of the bars in the chart above represent the total number of workers in each type of employment in the United States as of 2016. The red bar segments represent the proportion of jobs likely to be automated in the foreseeable future. The blue bar segments represent the proportion of jobs that will still remain. As we can see, the future landscape of labor in the next few decades is going to look radically different than it currently does today. In fact, we can even use these data to predict which cities will be most impacted by unemployment from AI automation. As we can see, Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live, is currently at the top of the list. In fact, it's predicted that 65% of all jobs in Las Vegas are at risk of automation by 2035, and half of all jobs in the United States are at risk of automation in the next 2 decades. There are certainly some jobs that will be more resistant to automation. These jobs require more human aspects like creativity, empathy, and trust. However, there are many jobs today that are unlikely to exist in the next few decades. This will create tremendous disruption to our labor economy with unemployment, retraining, and early retirement. On the other hand, it will create tremendous opportunities for new jobs that don't yet exist and the IT professionals that build these automation systems. The big question right now is whether AI will create more jobs than it eliminates. Historically, technological revolutions have created more job opportunities than they've destroyed. However, there's pretty compelling evidence to suggest that the AI revolution may be different. Imagine if you could ask a horse in the early 1900s how the automobile or tractor would have changed its life. It probably would have said that a car or tractor is going to make things a lot easier. Unfortunately, for the horse, these technologies also made them obsolete to the economy. In fact, we hit peak horse in 1915, just as the automobile and the tractor began to scale up in production. We're beginning to transition from an economy where most of the work of value is done by humans to one where most of the work of value will be done by machines. As a result, it's important to ask yourself, which side of this new economy will your job be on? The side that's leading our new economy, or the side that's being eliminated? What new kinds of ethical issues will AI bring about? Will this technology ultimately benefit or harm humanity? The emergence of modern AI has led to some rather interesting ethical issues in recent years. For example, we now have facial recognition systems and mass surveillance that may be violating our right to privacy. We have AI-generated advertisements that use each consumer's unique behavioral profile to manipulate their purchase decisions. We have text generation software, like GPT-2, that can generate propaganda and fake news on a massive scale. We have deepfake technology that could be used to impersonate celebrities or politicians for nefarious purposes. We have deep nude technology that can digitally remove a person's clothing without their consent. And we have semi-autonomous weapons that are very close to becoming fully autonomous weapons. These are just a few of the current ethical issues that we are now facing with modern AI. And please keep in mind that there are much more advanced and sophisticated AI technologies just over the horizon. Given this, the number and severity of these ethical issues is likely to increase significantly in the near future. To put it simply, we're going to have some very difficult ethical issues to deal with in our lifetimes. For example, what does privacy mean in a world with constant and pervasive AI-enabled surveillance? We currently have very little privacy, and we're about to get a lot less. How do we avoid bias and discrimination in our AI models? It's easy to accidentally or intentionally create biased AI models that will directly impact the lives of millions of people. Even more concerning, should we allow AI to be weaponized? Should we ban fully autonomous weapons before we enter a new AI arms race? And if so, how long until a conflict pressures a government to override this directive? How should we allocate resources in a post-human labor world? Some economists suggest that we will need a guaranteed basic income or a negative income tax. But how should we pay for that? Should we tax robots in order to offset the inevitable unemployment from automation? How do we even begin to determine the true value of each robot's labor in order to tax them appropriately? And if we tax robots, what rights should they have in our society? I mean, we've fought wars over the idea of no taxation without representation. What will the machines or the capitalists that own them demand in return for paying their fair share of taxes? The most important of these ethical questions, though, is what does this all mean for humanity? What is our purpose in a world where machines do all of the work of real economic value? Does this technology set us free, or does humanity eventually become obsolete? Many experts think that we'll eventually have to merge with our technology or it'll inevitably destroy us. The idea may seem far-fetched now, but these cell phones in our hands are already an extension of our brains, and the younger generation is ready and willing to have them connected directly to their minds if and when the technology finally exists. It may sound strange, but we are likely one of the last generations of Homo sapiens to inhabit the Earth. Whatever comes next will likely be very different than what we've known for the past 200,000 years. Technology is inherently amoral. It is neither intrinsically good nor evil. The same technology can be used to take mankind to the moon, or it can be used to propel warheads into cities. As a result, it's going to be up to us as a society to choose whether we want to use AI to make the world a better place for everyone, or to use it for our own profit, power, and control. The choice is ours to make. What will you choose? In this module, we learned about the future of artificial intelligence and how it will impact our world. First, we learned that AI will have a profound impact on our society and our day-to-day lives. Next, we learned that AI will eliminate many jobs, but will also create new jobs and new opportunities. Finally, we learned about the ethics of AI and how this technology will likely impact humanity as a whole. In the next module, we'll learn where to go next and wrap things up for this course.